Okay, let's get started. Situation 1, taxi. The first word is aqui. This means here. To hear it in Portuguese, it's said,
Aqui.
Let's say that word again.
Aqui.
To say right here, to get the cab to stop, you would say,
Aqui mesmo.
That's 2 words. Let's say it slow again.
Aqui mesmo.
Our next word is rua, which means road. Imagine the word who with an A at the end of it. It sounds like this.
Rua.
To say this road, or the word this, is
Essa rua.
this road. Let's hear it again.
Essa rua.
Try to repeat each of the words after we say it to yourself, better out loud. Vira means to turn.
Vira.
To say turn here, we would say,
Vira aqui.
next word is para, which means to stop. To get the taxi to stop, we say,
Pare.
the word for left is,
Esquerda.
it's kind of a hard word to get, but let's repeat it a couple of more times.
Esquerda.
Take that word slow and repeat it to yourself several times.
Esquerda, esquerda, esquerda.
Next word is right. It's pronounced
Direita.
kind of a difficult word. Let's say it again.
Direita.
Notice he uses the letter A at the end of it. It's very important. We'll tell you why in a minute. Let's hear it again.
Direita.
Be sure to stress the A at the end of this word. Let's hear it again.
Direita.
Our next word means let's go. Very similar in Spanish.
Vamos.
Vamos, pretty standard. You should be able to remember that one without much trouble. To get the taxi to stop and wait, we say,
Espere.
this means wait. If we want him to wait here, we would say,
Espere aqui. Espere aqui.
to have him slow down, we say,
Devagar.
devagar. Great to get the cab to slow down. To get him to stop at this corner, we would say,
Essa esquina.
if you need him to go just a little further, you would say,
Mais pouco. Mais pouco.
okay, so let's review our words now. Do you remember the word for here?
Aqui.
Here's a tough one. How about right here?
Aqui mesmo.
Stressing the word mesmo will get him to stop every time, right where you need him to. The word for street.
Rua.
The word for this street.
Essa rua.
If you forget how to tell him to turn,
Vira.
you can simply point and say,
Essa rua.
this street. If you want him to turn right here, do you remember how to say it?
Vira aqui mesmo.
To get him to stop is a bit of a tough word.
Pare.
It's kind of like party with a D in the middle. Let's hear it again.
Pare.
Remember the difficult word for left.
Esquerda.
Remember it has an A on the end of it. Be sure to open your mouth entirely and then pronounce every syllable of that word.
Esquerda.
The word for right also has an A sound ending in it and sounds like this.
Direita.
The word for go straight ahead is very similar to the word right. Be very careful. You need to stress the O at the end of this word, and it sounds like
direto,
see how similar those two words are?
direita and direto.
We know that's tough. In time, it'll make much better sense.
There is also reto, which is also straight ahead. Reto.
Think of the two words hey and toe when you say it. In fact, many of the syllables can be broken down to easy, simple English words if you listen for them. In this case, hey, H-A-Y, and toe, T-O-E, form the Portuguese word
Reto.
reto, which means go straight ahead.
Vamos.
The word vamos is a pretty standard Spanish word we hear as Americans quite often. It's used in Portuguese. In fact, a percentage of Spanish words translate over into Portuguese as well. The word again
Vamos.
is let's go. The word for wait is
Espere.
this means if you need to get out of the cab, you can use this one single command to get him to stay, and generally they do. To get him to stay exactly in place, you would say,
Espere aqui.
to get a cab to slow down, do you remember the word?
Devagar.
That's a tough one. Devagar.
Devagar.
The word for corner,
Esquina.
do you remember how to say this corner?
Essa esquina.
If you want him to go just a little further, say you're in the middle of a block, do you remember those words?
Mais pouco.